Can you see a little pair of ears about here? A little pair of ears. Little pair of interrupting ears of a little interrupting cat. Right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Manic Miners. I hope you're all doing frightfully bully this evening. We're 25 episodes into the series. What is the point of me saying anything? Let's get the hell on with the game. And unfortunately, the game we need to do today is...
Erode works.
Yes. Which has eroding lava in it, which is my favourite thing in the entire universe. Gosh. 999, that's not a terrible water animation. Right, we've all been here before, but...
mining activities in a deeper cavern when disaster struck. Molten lava and magma is slowly eroding the perimeter of Rock Raider HQ. We have located another cavern nearby that is safe, but the ship's transporter is being repaired and cannot be used. We must get to a safer cavern by foot. Try to prevent the magma from advancing by building a perimeter power path around Rock Raider HQ. There is hard rock between the safe cavern and us, and we must use dynamite to blast through. Build up Rock Raider HQ until we can train a Rock Raider to use dynamite. Then escort the rest of the Rock Raiders to the safe cavern. Once you have made it there safely, resume mining and collect 50 energy crystals.
Oh dear. I am, what we say in the trade, if you will pardon my unprofessional language, is screwed. Right. Mainly because of this word, here, this bit, here, and this bit, here. I was sort of dreading doing this level because I know Baz is going to make it far more difficult. Okay. We can't tell how eroded the unopened chambers are with lava, so you may need to utilize mobile laser cutters carried by tunnel transport. Oh, gosh. I just want the lava to go away. Never mind. Also, am I the only person that listened to this as a child and thought, why does it say a perimeter power path and not a perimeter of power path? Never mind. Doesn't matter. How the hell do I play this game again? I can't remember. Oh, you Teasertron. I am going to have to get all of this mended up as quickly as is humanly possible because I need to get over there and get those crystals. There's no way in hell I can leave them behind. And we need air. Yes. Which isn't anything particularly unusual, but you know, we are human beings. Last time I checked, we was in need of the old breathy stuff. Yes, you could go and get the crystals first, or, alternatively, and this is just some sort of, crazy-delicious radical revolutionary thinking here, you sort of deal with the fact that if this piece goes, then we're all going to get trapped. Ah, dear. I think I'm going to have to do this a little bit differently. Except I can't, because I haven't got a bloomin' spade. Oh, does anyone have a bloomin' spade? Probably not, no. Oh, gosh. Right, both of you get spades. Because we need to sort this out double, triple, pronto. And... now we're screwed. Okay, right, never mind. Let's forget about protecting this bit of land. It's a waste of time. Let's instead just accept the fact that we're probably all going to die. Marvellous! Excellent! Good! That's my favourite thing. I will try and get through to protect these pieces here, or recover them rather, but I don't think that's going to work. There's a fly on my screen. Get off, fly on my screen! You've distracted me! That's why I'm rubbish at this game, and not because I'm an idiot, honest. Right. Oh, gosh, this is going to be so much freaking fun. Okay. I need to think about this. So, I need to... We've got to start producing enough air. Otherwise, that's going to be a real pickle for us. Okay, right, that's decent enough. What I also need to do is... I'd like to bust through there, but it seems a little bit pointless. I need to upgrade all of my buildings, I need to upgrade all of my everything, and I don't have anything for anything. Please don't turn into lava while somebody's standing on it, that would be slightly horrific. Okay, all of this stuff doesn't really matter. There's nothing that we could mine here, so I'm honestly not fussed. I don't care. Don't bother about that. Just, oh my, I'm not fussed about that piece anymore. Never mind. Doesn't matter. At least we don't seem to be having any landslides. Let's have a look at the old map. The old map. Yes. If I remember correctly, the old pathway was to come out this way, swing around a lake, and then come up here onto this little hill. So that much at least seems the same. Whether it will remain the same is anybody's guess. Right, what I think I need to do is make enough of a base that there's air at least. If I have to leave and just leave a power station and a support station there to be destroyed by the lava until we can make another air production facility. How did this freaking fly get in here? If there's anything about summer I despise, it's flies. I despise the flies. Ahem. Not really sure where I was going with that. Monsters in this level? I genuinely cannot remember. There's some ore behind here, but not a hell of a lot else. I don't really want to go in there because I don't want to bust this piece down because that's gonna open up this cavern which has got more freaking lava in it. Okay, right, now that we've finally wasted a load of time making perimeter power path, we can actually collect up a bit of ore. And have I just realised I've only got 4 people at the moment? Yes, I do only have 4 people. That's a bit weird. I'm supposed to have 5. Don't really know why. Yeah, so we've only got 15 minutes to get the air, which, now that I think about it, is supposed to be a quarter of the length of this video, so I'm sure the video will end up being longer than that. It always is, with me still trying to force two levels into each video. But okay, we've got our perimeter of power path. It will be interesting to see how quickly this gets eroded through. I don't know if we've observed that in Basmod before. We've probably seen it somewhere in Manic Miners before, but I can't remember exactly what the old rates of change in terms of the lava-iness of the floor. Yes, the first derivative of lava-iness. Where does this go? This doesn't go anywhere, so we can just drill through that and forget about it. We've got 9 crystals. That's not terrible. That's enough to get the power station and support station. And then we'd have 4 left over, which would be enough for basically the grand total of nothing. We could get that. But actually, no, we couldn't because we'd need something. We'd need one of those crystals to power the That was not English, but that is simply because I was so frightened that my entire brain shut down for a moment, and I was operating on nothing but fear. Okay, good, that's fine. I don't think lava can go in diagonal directions, so we should be all right with that. Oh man, I've got to be bloody careful, otherwise I'm going to run out of ore for building stuff. Okay, there's a good amount of ore here, looking like little Maltesers. I do find it a little bit irritating how the how well the ore blends in with the floor. Like at a glance, you almost wouldn't notice that was there, which I find a little tricky to deal with sometimes. But that's all right. That's just because I'm stupid and my eyes don't work properly. Okay, good. Any crystals? No, of course not. Okay, I'm not going to start correcting these immediately. I'm going to let them progress a little bit further before we begin treatment. But yeah, we should have enough ore here to make the power station. Whether we'll be able to get as far as the support station, one doesn't know. One only knows I'd really like to get this fly out of this room, but never mind. Should I bring down a couple more people? I feel like maybe I should. I won't go as far as 10 because that will give us far too few, but maybe if I bring it down to 7, that will just increase how much we can get done every moment, and I don't really want to hang around any longer than possible. Because of course there's a balancing act between the number of people you have and the amount of oxygen that you can conserve, but that isn't true with that. That's interesting. When that gets mended, is the power path going to be gone, or is the power path going to magically come back to life? And by life, I mean existence, because power path isn't alive, it's probably made of concrete. No, okay, good. That's fine. That's just a bizarritude in the animation. And the frame rate. don't know what's up with my computer today, but she's a little bit sluggish. Not slimy sluggish. Alright, never mind that. Never mind that. We can make this, we can make this. We probably have just enough to upgrade it, and then we'll build our support station, which, thinking about it, I really shouldn't have put it here, because that's going to put it too close to the lava for my taste. But never mind any of that. I am going to regret that I came within 16 miles of this place. I am going to stop the recording for a second and have a quick check of the frame rate in the recording to make sure everything's alright, and then we'll carry on. Right, it seems to be fine most of the time and just dipping very slightly very occasionally, so hopefully that will not be a plaguing issue. Alright, I didn't actually mean to open this place up as quickly as I did, but never mind, it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the universe, it's just the end of the likelihood of me surviving. And this happening again, not sure what's up with that. It's weird, it's like it doesn't have a second stage animation for the power path, and it's sort of defaulting. Okay, but it does have a third stage animation. Okay, I'm confused. Also, if I let this go to fruition, will it turn into a square of lava, or will it turn into a square of ground? Presumably a square of ground. Otherwise, because this isn't going that much slower than if it was just, oh, I haven't even set that one to go. Gideon. Yeah, this isn't going that much slower than if it was just, oh, no, I didn't anticipate this problem. Oh, bollocks. No, oh, gosh. Right, okay, this is an interesting situation to be in. If you look at me, my name's Phil, I've been playing Rock Raiders for, I don't know, the best part of 15, 17 years. I know what the bloody hell I'm doing. I'm good at this game. I know how to do things, and I can win the game, and I can make videos and look intelligent. Except in all of the ways and days in which I can't, which is all of the ways and all of the days that have ever occurred since my frickin' birth. But other than that, everything's bloomin' lovely. Oh, what a frickin' disaster. I don't know why I didn't think there'd be monsters. I don't remember there being monsters in the original Air Works, but this isn't the original Air Works, so frankly I don't know what the hell I thought I was doing, assuming things. Right. Can anybody bloody mend this thing? Please. Kitty aunt. I need a truck, because a truck could deal with this a hell of a lot faster. That would severely sort my problems out, but okay, good. You had me worried there for a moment. Could you just get on with this, please? Like, prioritize, please. No, because it's all miles away. This is so going to be destroyed by the time anybody gets there. Right, I'm going to have to do this myself, because if you want a job done right, you have to do it yourself, because everybody else will screw it up. The irony of me saying that directly after me losing about half a dozen crystals to a couple of fat monsters is not lost on me. Right, that's that situation sorted out, if nothing else, because goodness knows we've got nothing else to be pleased about this afternoon. Freaking bad, this guy. I'm going to stick a couple of pieces of fence in there for no particularly good ruddy reason. Ah, dear, this is eroding too bloody fast for my like. It's consuming far too much ore. We don't have enough ore in order to make any air. So they're naturally prioritizing this instead of prioritizing that, but you can have your sandwiches as well if we could only finish building this thing. Okay, good. At least you're finishing with the barriers, and we've got the crystals in there, so we just need to get the ore in. How much more does it need? Basically all of it. Good. I was worried for a minute then that it might be nearly done. Wouldn't that have been a tragedy? I better reinforce that as well, just in case the monster decides to stick its ugly mug out of it. And I can't even set up any dynamite because we haven't upgraded this yet. Oh, at least this is staying vaguely quiet. Oh dear. The thing is this situation's... I know the game is called Manic Miners, but you didn't have to behave like an absolute frickin' maniac, you beady-eyed little do-badder. Goodbye. Right. I cannot remember how to work the bloody camera in this game because I'm too used to using a different program. Now, what did we learn? Probably nothing. Goodness knows I never learn anything. Why am I so stupid? Why did I have to be born as a stupid person? Why can't I be born as a big clever person? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Never mind. Alright. That's at least the fence sorted out, which will give us a small line of defense. And there's the oxygen sorted out, so that's one less problem that we need to worry about. Let's set all of that to be mended. Good. Now we can bring down a few more peeps. And we can bring down a couple of trucks. In fact, I'm going to put a couple of people straight into the trucks because I just want people moving things around who can be focused solely on that, and we can worry about everything else later down the line. Okay, right, let's get a little bit more ore into the bank, and then we can upgrade this, and then we can start dealing with a little bit of dynamite, which might come in very handy. So there's nothing behind here apart from a recharge seam, but we might as well blow our way through in order to see what we find. All the same. Put a piece of power path there and bust that down just in case there's a couple of crystals in it. There's 6 crystals in there. That's good. Could you leave that and just let the trucks deal with it, please? Except we can't let the trucks deal with it because they're currently full of ore instead. Of course they are. Of course they are. Right, let me get rid of that because it makes me think that people have died when in reality they haven't. Okay, good. So there's a few more crystals here as well. That's good. That is all very useful. So it seems like Baz is giving me a few more crystals than I'd normally get. No, actually, no, I was going to say I'm going to leave it till it reaches the second stage, but I just had to go and open my great big fatuous pie hole, and suddenly it reached the second stage. But yeah, I think a few more crystals than normal are being doled out at the moment for the sake of letting me get a tunnel transport, which I'm not 100% sure if I should get preemptively before actually knowing what I need it for. But at the same time, Baz has never given a hint before, and I feel like I should not look a gift horse in the mouth and not assume that it is a big old fib. Bit of an old porky pie, as we would say in the old colloquialisms. Right, let's upgrade that and pop this here, which is a bit of a messy design, but it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Sorry, I was just looking at this to see if there was like a single space where, say, a granite grinder could have jumped over in order to rescue the brickster. Not that that would have done any good, because then the brickster could have escaped, but the guy in the granite grinder would have been a bit stuck. Yeah, I think we'll set a little bit of this to go through. Is there anything on the other side? Probably not. No, so it most likely is a corridor, as in the original formation of the level. Fair dues. We're already up to 36 crystals, which is quite a lot, given we only need 100. Although the fact that the objective here says a monster is going to die. Not everyone has got a gun. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. Bloody hell, they move fast on the rubble, don't they? Die! Die as revenge for your evil, hungry brothers. Or sisters. Or whatever the hell you are. I don't know. I've never asked if rock has gender, and I don't expect to find an answer to that question anytime soon. This is all getting burned to bits. Does seem to be moving a bit slower than this stuff does, which is curious. Good, we've got that now, so I'm going to upgrade this. No, I'm not. I'm going to wait until everybody's done with their various bits and bobs, and then I'm going to... Why are you sitting around not doing nothing? Probably because nobody's clearing any rubble. because everyone's busy with other stuff. And thinking about it, with all the landslides that have been occurring down here, we're not going to get any rubble out of this stuff, so I'm going to have to mine some other stuff out. The interesting dynamic which is developing here is that I'm almost not clearing... I'm not drilling out walls for the sake of hopefully finding crystals. I'm actually drilling walls for the sake of finding rubble and finding ore as a result of that rubble. Which is curious, because normally you're not that fussed about ore, and very soon after the beginning of a level, it just becomes... Yes, you could put down one piece of ore and then let Jet sort it out. In fact, if you then let Axel sort it out, or alternatively you could have sorted it out all by yourself, and then Axel could have done something else more productive with his afternoon, like, I don't know, attending a ruddy clarinet lesson. But no, honestly, that's what happens. You bring these kids down, they're brand new on the level, and they haven't fought and struggled through the creation of perimeter power path like the rest of us veterans have, and they're so entitled and just jumping into a truck the minute they arrive, while the rest of them carry on their own 2 feet. I don't know, being grumpy about young people or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Forgive me. I'm just frightened, alright? I can't click the buttons. And the Brickster's lost his gun. Which, to be honest with you, is probably wise. I'm not really sure I'd trust that little miscreant with a weapon. Alright. Let's use some more dynamite, blow up some more stuff, get that reinforced. Good, no one was injured by that. Where do we stand? We're doing alright. That needs to get mended. We need to bring down our tunnel transport, and then Jet can ride it because Jet nearly died in the lava earlier, so I'd like her to stay well off the ground. They mentioned they mentioned a laser cutter being carried by this and then using the laser on its back in order to blast things, which sounds vaguely amusing. There's a cavern there, actually. That's curious. I wonder what all of that is about. One doesn't know, but one is interested. Is there any other like that? I'm not seeing any, no. That's all fine. Reinforce that. Might as well reinforce those while we're there. Reinforce that. Blow that up. Blow that up. Just blow the whole thing to Kingdom Come as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I'm curious about that. I want to know what's behind there. Is that a shortcut? Somehow I doubt it. But what I will do is bring down a large mobile laser cutter and put myself in it, because I don't want my feet to get burned to bits. Well, Sparks, you're a brave man. But it's going to take a bit more than bravery to sort this situation out. Okay, good. The cavalry has arrived. This is marvellous. Oh dear. Oh dear. Please don't eat him! I know I was complaining about him earlier, but that's no reason to eat him. I don't think they're made out of energy crystals. Right, let's turn that off. I thought he was going into the wall to cower. He wasn't. Okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Hang on a minute. Jet's not in there. Who's in there? Bandit, you... Well, bandit. Bandit by name, bandit by nature. Right. Everyone's going to be back to front and upside down and inside out and gobbledygook, but goodness knows it doesn't matter. Okay, right. I'm going to set that to be mended, set that to be mended. Oh, bloody hell, set that to be mended as well. Okay, let's bring this over here because I want to know what's on the other side of there. How's the situation over here? Everything's basically alright. Oh, speaking of dynamite, actually, which we'll get to in a minute. How the hell do I do this? Oh, well, I'll deal with this first, and then I'll try. Oh, there we go. Then I'll try. Whatever the hell it was I was talking about before. Oh yes, the dynamite. In the annual yapping video, if you had the wherewithal and the patience of a saint in order to listen to that, I put some dynamite down, and then another piece of dynamite was dropped next to it by someone who was carrying it, and then got scared by the countdown. And at that stage, the shockwave of the first piece of dynamite set off the second piece of dynamite, which is curious. I've never actually noticed that before. I don't know if that was a thing in the original game or not. I can't say that I remember. But I reckon if we ever get through here, which will be a small miracle, and to be honest with you, I could actually drop the large mobile laser cutter and let the tunnel transport get on with some other jobs at the moment. What I'll just do is see where we stand. Everything's all pretty much okay. What is going on over here? Anything scary? Okay. Well, this is useful. Okay. There's no spaces where a monster could spawn from, right? Well, they could spawn somewhere and then climb over the lava, but we won't worry about that. Okay, there's just solid rock on behind all of this, so what I think I'm going to do is just mine out a few bits, let the tunnel transport take some of it home, and then mine out a few more bits, and so on, just in case on the off chance a monster spawns out of here, then wanders all the way across here, and then zooms up the old autobahn of rubble, and then royally messes up my afternoon. Like the first ones did, for crying out loud. Sorry, I'm not frightfully proud of losing crystals to monsters. Many years ago I sort of promised myself I'd never let that happen. But it would seem that I am no longer as fit and capable as I once was in that department. So please forgive me for being an incapable loon. Right. Let's just have a quick look over here, see what we've got going on. So this is all hard rock behind here, but yeah, then there's the pathway that busts through here. That is to be expected from memory. So we're going to have to bust through another piece here, I think, and then that piece as well before we find a new cavern. And then I think there's going to be a great big old lake over here. Dear oh dear oh dear. This is so different to how I would play the game normally, because in the normal mission I don't do this. I don't make a base. I take more of a don't panic strategy to the level, in that I just sort of, oh god, goodness. Actually no, forget about that one. If people would not do this and trucks would do this, I'd be very, very grateful, because we don't have very long until this is completely ruined. But never mind. Okay, that one's saved, which is grand. And that one's saved, which is lovely. And that one's saved, which is lovely. And if Axel would please catch his breath, that one would be saved as well. Okay, that's a small miracle. I genuinely didn't think that was going to work in 100 years, but apparently it has. Where do we sit on the crystals? There's still plenty of crystals waiting to be collected, but obviously this is prioritizing other bits and pieces at the moment. Oh gosh, it's all going wrong. No, normally what I would do in this level is just catapult my people along this pathway as quick as is humanly possible, and then drill one wall, make one piece of power path, put a tool store down, and then use dynamite to blast your way through along here, because of course back then it wasn't necessary to have your tool store upgraded in order to make dynamite, so you could run a little bit faster and looser with it. But I'm impressed that this has gone as well as it has. This will allow us to hold the lava back a good bit, which is very good and much better than I expected. I might bring down another couple of trucks actually, so people can move a little bit more. But on the other hand, that's then going to reduce the number of people I've got with weapons. So I'm going to have to check that lots of other people have got weapons, because I don't want to leave anything defenseless. Do you have a gun? Yes, you do. Thank goodness for that. Okay, that's that all sorted out. Nothing to worry about in that department. And then once the worst of all the repairs are done, then the tunnel transport can go back to sorting out the ore situation. Good. Okay. Now I am going to focus on drilling out a few bits and pieces, I think. And we're going to have to, if we drill things out and we find crystals, we're just going to have to stop drilling stuff out until we, oh, sheesh. I do like that they come out in perfect tandem. That's kind of cute. That's not where the other one is. Where is the other one? Where's the other ruddy monster? Oh, they are coming out in tandem. Right. thought my prophecy about him popping out of a different wall and then running across the lava was going to come true. I might reinforce that just to be on the safe side for that very bloody reason. Okay, I'm not entirely sure they're going to catch him. In fact, I'm going to tell them not to catch him because I want to see if the electric fence kills him in one blast. Because I know he's a hell of a lot stronger than a normal rock monster. If you get a stone and then chuck it from here, I am going to tell those people to get their guns and come back. Right, get your guns and come back, because this guy doesn't want to participate in a scientific experiment. He has exercised his right to withdraw, and now I am going to exercise my right to shoot him in the bum. Because they're going to be able to chuck it from there, aren't they? I'm aware of that fact. Thank you very much. Oh my giddy aunt. What a catastrophe this has been. Don't know what you expected from me, but other than that, everything's going perfectly. Why are you doing something that's perfectly understandable and reasonable? Never mind. Okay, I'm now no longer convinced that a monster is going to come over here and screw my day up completely. So what I'm going to do is... Sheesh, where? Okay, what I'm going to do is get I'm going to bring the large mobile laser cutter back, and then we can use that to do some drilling while we leave the tunnel transport to sort the crystals out. Otherwise, the large mobile laser cutter isn't achieving a great deal. Please die. Thank you. That fills my heart with joy. My kitty aunt. And then this fly comes into tracks from it all. Right. There we go. Now you can come over here and get to drilling a few bits. Except you can't, because now you would have... maybe that didn't cancel the command, actually. Maybe they still would have come over here. I don't know. What have we got on the other side of here? There's a little pathway here. Is that hard rock? Yeah. Damn. Which will bring us over here. Interesting. I wonder if I actually should bust through here sooner rather than later, and then set up a new base here. That way we wouldn't have to worry about defending this any longer. We could just beam it up, get the crystals, and forget about it. Which might be nice. Oh, sheesh. Alive. Where did that rubble come from? Oh, did it destroy the power path? Interesting. Does it, when it destroys the power path, unless a monster stamped on it? That seems entirely plausible as well. Like that, yes. You, my friend, and by friend I mean enemy, are a irritant. Like... Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know they could pick people up who were shooting with guns. That's interesting. And now there's 4 of them, because of course there are. Why have 2 monsters when you can have 4? Right, I don't care if this drains some stuff. I want to freaking kitty aunt. There's no way it's going to be fast enough to chase them. Oh man, alive. Why are 4 monsters spawning at the same time? That doesn't seem wholly fair. Okay, good. That's the end of him. Don't worry about him. You forget about him. Deal with this one. Deal with this. Oh, never mind. I mean, thank you for killing him. I appreciate that. There we are. I'm not fussed about the rest of it. Forget about the rest of them. Man alive. So bad at this. It's just so... Everything's just so spread out at the moment. There's no chance for me to sort things out. Because it just takes forever to move anything. I was thinking about bringing down a tunnel tool store. I see, Buzz. I see. You want me to suffer. Alright. Fine. Fine. I can play a game. Literally. Alright. It's not the end of the universe. It's the end of my sanity. It's the end of me having a life expectancy greater than 26 years. But other than that, everything's fine. Let me just blast this out so that we, if nothing else, reduce the number of monsters which are spawning every 5 seconds. Okay, right, because obviously this is how you'd normally access this, but Baz has decided to play a little game with us. Naturally. How are we doing over crystals here? Still plenty to get here, that's all good. Where do we stand in terms of turns of crystals? Already up to 82. That's not that bad actually. With those, that might even be enough. Everything seems alright. Nothing's exploded yet. Emphasis as big as Memphis is on the word yet. Let me work my way through some of here, because there's another cavern on the far side of this by the looks of it. I don't think this was here previously. I can't ever remember actually drilling through this side or not. This was never one of the levels I really oh sheesh, more lava. And this is the bit it was talking about with the tunnel transport, wasn't it? Oh sheesh, right. You want to fight, mate? You want a freaking fight, do ya? I don't know what that freaking voice was all about, but never mind. I am going to kill you with a big laser. There we are. I murdered you with a big laser. Yes, you can sit here and spank me all you want, mate. I don't care. You're still going to die from a laser to the small of the back. Sorry, I'm a little cross. I don't mean to be so, but I am so. Okay, let me drill out all of this stuff so that we don't have to deal with any more monsters spawning. And then all the path has been made, which is lovely. I'll need to have a quick swing back and make sure that we're not falling behind on any path. There we go, that's all fine. Good, a few more crystals around, that is lovely. What are you doing, bandit? This is why I wanted jet driving this thing, because you don't have a pilot's license. I'm pretty sure this vehicle was designed for larger environments. Okay, right. I think that apart from, well, everything that's happening, that everything is fine. Oh my giddy aunt. Maybe I should have done another tunnel transport to sort this situation out a bit more expediently. I think that's wise. Yes, you stop it. Yes, yeah, and I'd rather like it if you lot were working instead of standing around, as most of you seem to do most of the time. Yeah, we don't need to protect this that much longer, but we need to protect it just long enough to get through here. In fact, to that end, I'm going to start pushing through there immediately now that we've got the second tunnel transport to sort out the crystals over yonder way. We can sort out this little situation here. Right, let's do a bit of shooting. This... Okay, I was going to say this is going to take a while. Actually, it may not take a while, given that it's letting me progress a few more spaces along here. I'm really paranoid about a monster spawning out of here and eating these crystals, but what I'll do is I'll drop it, and then the tunnel transport can get these crystals, and in the meantime I can just stand here and defend the place. Excuse me. Excuse-moi. Thank you. That's better. Right, how much further is it? Would you stop getting stuck on stuff? Oh my giddy aunt. Man alive. Not a qualified pilot, but I'll sort this situation out with sheer indignance if I have to. Right, where are we now? In a really dangerous place, actually. I really shouldn't be standing here. Okay, right, let me break my way through some of here. There we go. Just to again reduce the likelihood of monsters, because I've seen more than enough of them to last me the rest of my life. There we go. I should move the little map along as well, just so we see what we're doing. Okay, good. I reckon that when we break through here, we'll be about safe, because as soon as we get like up a little gradient, up a little hill, then we're pretty much safe from the lava. I don't think it can erode upwards, which is curious. I'm not sure that's how physics works, but goodness knows I know nothing about physics, so perhaps I am not qualified to comment. But I reckon if we break through this piece, we're safe. Thank goodness for that. And it's let us have a pathway through here. That's almost kind. I'm hesitant to use that word with Baz, but it's almost kind. Okay, we sorted out everything over there. That is fine. They can now use this as another dropping off point as well, which will shorten commuting time, which is lovely. I'll just wait for the tunnel transport to get out of the way so I don't shoot it in the face. After the way Bandit's been driving, maybe a bit of lasering on his eyes might improve his ability to see where he's going. Break through here. And bandits. If you don't stop getting on my nerves, then you may find yourself trapped on a certain little island like a certain mischievous somebody was earlier in the day. Man alive, I love this game to death. I really do. I don't know how it manages to remain fresh. I mean, the fact that we're doing something, a thing like Basmod is certainly helping in that department. Okay, right, we can forget about this. I'm not overly fussed about any of that anymore, as long as no one else gets trapped. I don't really care. Where are we standing with crystals? We don't really have enough, if I'm honest. So I'm going to bring. I mean, I could mine through there, but I can't really be bothered. I can't really be bothered. We've already been here like 40 minutes, which is more than enough time as far as I'm concerned. I'd beam you up, but then I know all you're going to do is go for sandwiches, so that's really going to irritate me. So I'm just gonna let you all spin in circles for a little while you pick up crystals and then move them back. But at least this way they'll move slightly faster, and then I'll beam that one up, and then obviously Sparks will go for sandwiches. But at least we'll move a few more in, because we need to get up to 100, because I want to get the hell out of here. I don't like hot weather. I don't like humidity, right? I just can't stand it, right? I'm not a massive fan of being cold either, but I'll take being cold any day over being hot. And I've never stood within, a few meters of lava, but I don't imagine that it's a frightfully Arctic environment.
Huzzah! We did it!
Giddy aunt. That's enough, I think. That's enough of that. I know I didn't completely strip mine the place, but I don't really care. And we didn't see what was in there, which I kind of slightly regret now, but I sort of forgot about it. So I'm sorry about it.
Good job. Mission complete.
Look on the bright side. If you were playing the level, you're right next to the bit I didn't drill through, so you can just start the level, go in there, drill it through, and then, associate your curiosity. Right, well that's that situation sorted out.
Hero works.
Good. So now we've got...
Run the gauntlet.
And...
Search and rescue.
neither of which have anything to do with lava, which is marvellous. So, because last time I forgot, and possibly the time before that as well, I'm going to take a short break, because my voice is a little bit hoarse from yelling ghastly hopes of death at all of those monsters. So, hello, Bib. What have you come to say, other than to breathe into the microphone? Hello. Would you like to say hello to the nice people? This can be the intermission. Oh, golly. The foot off the bottom of my keyboard has just broken off. That's not good. I'll fix that in a minute. Come say hello to the nice people. It's not really hello, but never mind. You're a good cat. Why are your feet wet? That's a bit worrying. Never mind. Yes, I'm going to have my little break, rest my voice for a moment, and then we'll come back and we'll pick one of these other levels to do. They say that as you get older, the things that you hated when you were young become more appealing, like going to bed early and drinking up all your milk. Ugh, I'm only 23 and I already agree with them. Right. I should have spent my break figuring out which level we're going to do. I'll do this one because I can think of something to say.
One of our rock raiders has become lost by exploring distant caverns at the end of an underground river. Establish the Rock Raider HQ by building a teleport pad, power station, and support station. Once you have achieved this, upgrade the teleport pad to level 2 and transport down a tunnel scout. Send a Rock Raider to the teleport pad to train as a pilot, then take the tunnel scout and explore the river until you find the missing Rock Raider.
Well, doesn't that sound all perfectly straightforward? You know what this level has in it? No lava, which means we can just relax and
teleport in your Rock Raider team and
enjoy
find
ourselves.
as many energy crystals as you can. When you have enough, construct your power station.
I'll do that. That was louder than the intro bit, never mind. Let's spend 2 seconds having a quick look around, because I noticed that some things are different. Yes. Interesting. Main part of the level all seems to be the same, in terms of the size and the corridors, the rivers, whatever you want to really call them. versus the most obvious thing seems a little different. I think that's the first time I've ever seen the time have more than an hour on. That's quite an incredible thing. Let's just drill through a few bits and bobs. Please don't actually line up a lot of informal people called Robert and drill through them. Please don't do that. I'm rather sure that they wouldn't like that. I have a feeling we've only got 4 people again. What is it with me and only bringing down 4 people at a time? What's up with that? Never mind. What I've noticed is different, which I'm sure perhaps you have already noticed yourself, is exactly what I was going to talk about with regards to this level. If I could even get my arse comfortable in this chair, for crying out loud. You know, sometimes, and not for the ordinary reason that somebody might envy somebody for this reason, but I envy people who have greater gifts in the behind themselves department, should we describe it as such? Because at least they've got a nice big cushion to sit on all the time. Should probably put a cushion on this chair. Never mind. That was completely unnecessary, and
Construct a teleport pad.
this isn't level 2, you know. This isn't the path to power. I know what I'm doing. A bit. I mean, not really. After the last level, I really don't. Maybe I do need the help. Maybe I should be grateful for it. Shut up. No, if I can ever stick to one thing for 5 seconds. What I'm sure you've noticed is that many of the energy crystal seams on the rivers have been replaced by recharge seams, which is interesting, because I think if there was any single level which epitomized people's desire for new things to be in Rock Raiders, and for Rock Raiders to be expanded upon either through mods or redesigns a bit like this, I think it would probably be this level, or at least this is the one that would come to mind first for a lot of people, because the energy crystal seams on the river, I imagine, were very teasing to a lot of people to know that there were all these crystals about, and they were so close, and yet at the same time so far away, because there really was no way of getting them. I mean, even if you got like a laser vehicle, I mean, maybe you could sort of sit here and drill that one out, but I mean, what would you do with the rest of them? Nothing, really. So you'd be really rather stuck in that. Oh, sorry, I'll get on with playing the game, shall I? Yeah, I think a lot of people were, I don't know if frustrated is the right word to use, but they felt like it would be fun to have something which allowed them to collect all these extra crystals up, which had been otherwise left behind to the wayside. I felt a bit scared I hadn't turned the recording on them for a minute. That was a bit worrying. But of course now we do have lots of ways of doing that. Of course, we've seen we've got the tunnel transport now, which can carry vehicles, which can laser things out. We've got the drills on the front of the tunnel scout and on the front of the rapid rider. We've got the laser vehicles that could then drill from a distance or laser from a distance, and then you could have the tunnel transport go and pick up the crystals that then have fallen in the river. Although I suppose, could you do that with the rapid rider? You know, my giddy aunt, I'm ashamed to say this, but it's been so long since I actually played the original Rock Raiders that I don't remember whether the rapid rider in the original game could actually carry stuff or not. I feel like it suffered from small digger-itis, in that it had a little cargo bay on the back but was completely unable to carry anything. So I worry it was of that ilk. I really should have saved up some more ore earlier on so that we could upgrade that thing and then deal with a bit of dynamite. How the hell do I move this camera again? There we are. Man alive. Sorry. Sorry, I'm so out of practice doing this. I don't know why I thought bringing down 2 more people would allow me to use dynamite. That's not how nothing works. This is a little bit of a pickle actually, because I don't really want to just sit here and let them get on with things, because that's not going to give you an awful lot to look at, or in fact give me an awful lot to talk about. But then at the same time, I don't really know that I can send anybody else off to have any adventures any sooner. I do find myself wondering whether I should use the... Oh, there's an undiscovered cavern behind there. Well, there's something for me to talk about. That's curious. That definitely wasn't there before. And there's stuff behind here as well. I do very much like it when Baz makes full use of the real estate available. What I'm thinking is if we were to drill through that piece... Oh no, we couldn't actually, could we? Because look, that's solid rock behind there. What about that piece though? I say. Getting into an old joke for some bizarre reason, decided to pop back in my mind. No, I say we go for a rapid rider, and we put a drill on the front, and we use that to drill through here, and then see if that allows us to forge a path through here. Because if we busted through this piece, which I think is maybe that one, maybe, I'm not sure. Then we could break through here, and that would allow us to join everything up again, which would be quite nice. I better upgrade this while I have half a bloody chance, otherwise I'm not going to get another bloody chance. So, does that not require a energy crystal? No, it doesn't. That's weird. I would have been willing to swear upon a star that the docks used to take a crystal. Never mind. I'm sure it didn't. I'm sure I'm just aged and decrepit and my brain doesn't work anymore. Right, where's Bandit? There's Bandit. Come here. Dude. Well, I'm glad you're cheery, if nothing else. Let's just put the drill on the front because I don't want to spend much ore, certainly more than I need to. So let me send him off to drill this. At the very least, he can pick up a few crystals and bring them back, which will mean we can bring them more vehicles and stuff. Again, we could go for like another tunnel transport and laser vehicle combination like before if we wanted to. Which we're going to need, aren't we? Because there's no way I can drill through this without using a laser vehicle. But with a laser vehicle, that's quite straightforward. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder if you could drill through a corner piece with a tunnel scout with a drilling attachment. I've never tried that before. I don't know if that would work. There's a question for pondering, or just for experimenting with. Alright, I am going to send him off to get a few more crystals. In the meantime, I am going to... I'm gonna build a support station.
Now you can construct your support station. You may need to collect more energy crystals.
Yeah, I'm gonna create a support station because I've just realised that I haven't done that, and I have been woefully unoxygenating the air with my carbon dioxide producing yapping. There's another one over there. Don't just float around. Get on with your life. It's a bizarre inspirational quote, but hey ho, put it in the right font and I'm sure it'll do well on the internet. Yeah, again, I can send you off to drill more energy crystal seams and stuff, but that's not really going to do me a hell of a lot of good in the long run, is it? Because we've got heaps of crystals at the moment, that's not really what we're short on. If anything, we're short on ore, which is interesting. Because I could always like bring Bandit over here, have him clear the rubble, and then pick the rubble up, put it on the coastline, and then bring it back in the this. But I'm not convinced that's going to be very time efficient. I just want to test something quickly. There's no my kitty aunt. Have you ever seen any footage of like someone using a 360 camera, but they're using it on top of like a cycle helmet or something? If you try to look directly down, you sort of see part of a disembodied body, if it's possible for a body to be disembodied. It looks a bit like this, and it's frankly a bit scary. No. Oh! Ha 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 ha! I have defeated you! I don't know who you are, I don't know who you I am referring to, but I have won! Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see if this actually drills through, or whether it's just doing the animation in order to tease me, but I remember reading a comment when someone said you couldn't do this anymore. Apparently you can. If this will actually drill through and it's not just a glitch which is teasing me. Well, that's what we're trying to do, Bandit, although I'm not convinced we're having any luck. I'm glad you're so motivated, although I'm not convinced we're getting anywhere with it. I can do it quite reliably, but... No, don't clear the rubble, for goodness sake. I'll stop complaining about sandwiches and get back in your silly little craft. You silly old sea sausage. I don't know what we're doing with my life. I'm just tired. Forgive me. Okay, let's bring this down, and then we can bring down some vehicles. These extra crystals will help. You are really teasing me with this, you know. Putting this stuff that I can drill in the corner, except it doesn't do me any good. Oh, there's a degree of sadism going on in this level design, and I approve, because goodness knows if these levels were boring, then there'd be nothing to do and nothing to talk about, nothing to watch. But all the same, it's a little bit sneaky. But never mind. That's nearly finished, which is good, and then we should have plenty to bring down other vehicles. Yep, especially with these ones that are being brought along, so that's all fine. So let's upgrade this, assuming everything's not exploded in the recording, which as of yet nothing seems to be on fire, which is better than I can normally say. Let's bring this. Who's going to get into it? The Brickster? No, not a chance in hell. So make up for the last time when I said you could ride it and you couldn't. Then we'll have this for consistency, and then Docs will get in there. That's vaguely reasonable. That's odd. Why is that one highlighted? I don't have an upgrade station. No place to repair. What? Construct an upgrade station within reach and power it. That's weird. Why is that one highlighted? Sorry, you can't see this. I do sincerely apologise. I'm being inconsiderate. Sorry. The other two upgrades, specifically upgrading the laser and the engine, are greyed out, as if I can't do them, which makes sense because they're an upgrade station. This one, on the other hand, is lit up. Is that because I've got enough ore, but I don't have enough ore for these ones, which cost 20? Is that the reason? Do they get greyed out depending on the resource requirement, not depending on the appropriate infrastructure? Is that the distinction that I am failing to understand? I don't know, but when we get a few more pieces of ore, I will find out. In the meantime, I want you to come over here and pick this up, and then we'll break our way through here and try to join this up so that these peeps have something to do. Because let's be honest, once you sent your chap off to do his little adventure and go rescuing Docs who got lost, you very quickly realise that everybody else just stands around and doesn't get an awful lot to do. So that's a little bit of a shame. Yeah. Well, we could drive it like this. Oh yes, we could drive it like this, and we could not really see what the hell it is we're doing. Although we can see a lovely 3D animation of that little joystick, which is beautiful. This isn't actually as difficult to aim as I thought it would be. If you'd ever get off my roof, thank you. This isn't impossible to aim, but it's certainly not easy. Certainly compared to this, it isn't. Okie dokie. This thing can drive over lava with the upgrade, but it couldn't drive over water, could it? That would be too much even for this, I think. Let's just blast our way through here for a few minutes and see what we find. Oh goodness, I've discovered water. Yes, pretty sure we already knew what that element was, Phil, but A star for trying. Okay, good. We've got more than 20. Oh, now are they all highlighted? Yes, they are. Okay. That explains my infinite confusion then. So it has nothing to do with whether you've got an upgrade station. It has everything to do with whether you have the number of resources that are needed or not. Okay. Bandit, please go and drill out any other energy crystal seams that are on the river, so that the tunnel transport can sort those out. And in the meantime, I shall drive around and do a bit of zapping. Let's have there we are, have that follow this. There we go. I'm curious to see where this goes, actually. I doubt that this will take me to where Docks is. Find the lost miner. Yes, indeed. I doubt this will take me to where Docks is. How many crystals do I need? Oh, none. Interesting. Crystals isn't actually an objective in this one. Which, of course, it never was in the original, but that's curious. For some strange reason, I thought Baz had added that in. I don't know why, because it presumably wasn't in the mission brief. But, in fact, now that I think about it, I shouldn't be surprised that there wasn't an energy crystal requirement, because I remember reading the mission brief and thinking, that seems pretty much identical to how it was in the original formation of the level, rather than, being slightly edited, and thus the audio and the writing being slightly out of sync with each other, as it were. Kindly get your bum out of the way, thank you very much. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. The problematic placement of your patoot is irritating me. I get the impression we're about to run out of road. Yes, although I can take that across, which won't be a problem. What I am going to bring down is a few little trucks, because I reckon we might be able to go somewhere in that direction. So allow me to put a few peeps into a few little trucks, and I'm also going to build an upgrade station, even though I'm not convinced we really need it. Another truck, please, before you trip over the spider. And then we'll bring down a third one, I reckon, because again, number of crystals really doesn't matter. So it's not as if I'm taking crystals away from the main objective. There we go. What shall I do? I will bring. I don't know. Which way should I go? This way, which looks very interesting, and might sort of. In fact, it will join us up over here. Whether it will go off in that direction, I don't know, but I wouldn't put it past this designer, or alternatively we could go off in this direction, which again would lead us somewhere in that way. Looks like they'll both be roughly about the same, so I don't think it will make too much difference, but for no particularly good reason, I'll come this way first. Sorry, there's something about the arrangement of wheels here which amuses me, if you've ever seen. I've never seen that before, that's very interesting. Sorry, it reminds me of that thing about, like, you pick up a cat by holding their middle, and then their middle comes up and the front and the back stay exactly where they were. Sorry, there's something about that which amuses me. It's just a simple thing, but as my mother would have said, simple things amuse simple minds. So, just demonstrates that I'm a moron, really, doesn't it? Oh, what are you doing, Axel? Stop it. Let's get on with something else. We've got power tools for those jobs, specifically laser tools. I don't know, have we ever actually explored the possibility of using lasers to cut things? I feel like in sci-fi, lasers are constantly used as a way of breaking things or destroying things or shooting people, and 9 times out of 10, I don't think lasers really do that. I think, because I don't understand what lasers are, right, but I think it's just like a focused beam of light, right? But I suppose most lasers in sci-fi are like a focused beam of like powerful energy. Is light energy? I don't know. I'm just sort of guessing about science while I sit here playing a video game that was designed by somebody who could arguably be described as a scientist. I don't know. I think most programmers could be at least described as computer scientists. So I don't think it's unreasonable to describe a game designer as a scientist, in a certain sort of sciencey way. So there we are. Not really sure why I'm trying to defend this position. I don't really think this is something that anyone's going to care about, but here I am anyway, because it's late and I'm tired, and this previous level has exhausted me even further, so I'm just sitting here shooting things and trying to guess how science works, because that is vaguely amusing for me. I'm going to shoot a spider. I'm going to fail to shoot a spider. I murdered him! Good. Oh, man alive, that takes me back to an evening where I made one of the shortest videos that we've put out on this channel. It was only about 40 seconds long, where I'd merely discovered that you could shoot spiders with a mining laser and was infinitely amused. But again, I harken back to what I said before about simple things amusing the minds of simpletons, specifically me. What the hell have we actually got off in this direction? Let me zoom out when I can see properly. Nothing, because the radar don't go that far. Okay, there's a few more bits of hard rock, and then we'll access another cavern, which will also come through around the arse end of that ore seam. There we go. What else have we got? I don't know. I can't see because I can't move the mouse with the WAS keys because my mitten's a little bit busy holding the old cup of Joe here. So again, this is sort of leading us round the outside of the map, but I don't think that this would be designed such that you don't need to use the rivers. That just doesn't seem quite right with me. I feel like it would still be necessary to use the rivers. Or would it though? Because these Baz levels like to make the path to victory longer. Oddly not in Don't Panic, but definitely in the last level, which is a good example of that. There is no way between here and eternity that I can shoot that piece of rock there, is there? How the hell did I pull that off? I thought I'd have to get the tunnel transport and drag it all the way down here and drop it there, but my word, how the hell do I pull this off? I genuinely don't know. Because I think docks is around here, or yeah, around here I think. Maybe here, but I think about here. So on the one hand, these Baz levels like to make the path to victory longer, which would make me think that maybe snaking around the outside would be a longer path than just going right down the middle and across the water. But then on the other hand, most of the levels have been very true to their original form and have just made it more difficult, rather than sort of changing the whole structural mechanic. So I still would have thought that exploring along the rivers would have been the way to do it. Well, not to suggest that we're not going along the side of a river, but of course we're not travelling over the river like we would if we were in a tunnel scout or a rapid rider. So I don't really know. Okay, good. There is further that we can yet go. Just bringing you all the way over here so we can get a little peek on the radar, and people can walk 50 miles to carry energy crystals. That's very time efficient. Is Axel the only person not in a vehicle? Yes. Right. Let me bring down a couple more people. That was one person more than I meant to bring down, actually, but never mind. I'll just bring them back up again and we'll pretend like it never happened. Sorry, it was a false alarm. We don't actually need you here. Kindly go back to, I don't know, manning the canteen on the ship or whatever the hell it is that you do. As you're certainly not needed here. Don't drive all the way back and destroy the wall that's 25 miles away. Just stay here and destroy the piece of wall that's 2 minutes away. Doesn't matter. Let's just carry on. Yeah, I'm just going to tell you to drill that, I think. And then if I tell you to drill other bits, it's the only thing that can destroy hard rock at the moment, so it should just stay there and carry on working. Yeah. I feel like maybe we should bring down another drilling vehicle, actually. I'd bring down a small digger because that would be quick and fast, but then at the same time that's not going to be able to deal with the hard rock, is it? Well, it can drill through the hard rock, but you're scared me. Don't ever do that. Interesting. It's just a generic radar instead of being docks. That's curious because it was definitely docks in the standard campaign. because of course, and it pains me to think of how many years ago it was when we went through this, but that's how you got the. That's how you got Docs as a character that you can.
Rock Raider now. Land the tunnel scout, drill some of the walls, and see what you find.
Somebody seems to be doing things backwards, but that's only because I am backward. Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear. What was I talking about? Yes, when you.
For your tunnel scout. When you have done this, locate the land further down the river and fly your Rock Raider there.
Please, game, do not think of me as impertinent when I say, what the blithering hell are you doing? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Everything's all back to front. Oh, it's probably saying that because I found his
It looks like he passed this way. We can't be far from him now.
No, we're not. He's just over there.
Look, this is Hover Scout. He must have been trapped somewhere near here.
Yes, I'm sure he was. In fact, I'm 100% sure that he was, because I know where he was trapped. In a yard. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Clearly this game meant for me to go a different way. Never mind. To finish the thought that I tried to start hours ago and kept getting interrupted by little messages. Of course, adding the proper crew members to the little roster of people you can bring down was done by completing a level in which they were featured. So I've got him trapped again, haven't I? Actually, no, he could drive back, but it would probably take several billion years, so we won't worry about that. Instead, I will just pick him up and then pop him. Can we see what's on the other side of this? Ooh. Ooh! And thrice! Ooh! Yes, we'll definitely want to go through there, and because then that will bust that piece through as well, which would be good. And then I'll probably bring him over here. I don't know. Depends, because I reckon that this wall is just going to connect to a pathway that comes down here, and it's not going to allow me in here, which is going to be a little bit of a pickle, but never mind. And not the nice sort of piccalilli that you can spread on your sandwiches. So let me blast my way through here, and then all of the crystals that this has just picked up can be dropped again. Sorry about that, at least we got them over the river. Well, there's a lot of crystals in there. That reminds me of the all the crystals in... Oh, there's another tunnel scout. I'm curious. Let me get rid of that. It reminds me of some of the bits of Back to Basics. Like if you had the base there, and then there was the lava there. If you sort of headed off in this direction a long ways, then eventually you found I think it was like 2 strips of 5 bits of wall, all of which had heaps and heaps of crystals in them, which was interesting. And the pieces over there had a similar number of crystals in them, were sort of similarly placed. There's some more stuff hiding in the rock on the left side here, which is in here, I assume, which would be if we busted through there, which seems sort of vaguely reasonable. I vaguely recall being able to do that in the past. Let's just break through here, doesn't really make any difference. So there were crystals hiding in the hard rock as well. Was that true in the original game, or was that only true in Basmod just to make us think that we were being teased even more by all those walls on the coastline that we couldn't drill out? Although I suppose, is it really a coast if it doesn't have floor? And by floor I mean land next to it. If it's just rocked like this, is that not more of a cliff face? Oh, I don't know. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a laserologist, and I'm not a geologist. Which sadly is not a person who studies the exclamation G. Although that would be a vaguely amusing job to have, possibly. We could break through there. Man, I really wish I had something I was going to say I wish I had a flying machine, you know, a flying machine, that modern terminology. You know, a thing that could fly, but could also drill, which I think the only option in that department would be the upgraded Tunnel Scout, but the drills on that are not very fast and also can't get through hard rock, so that wouldn't get me very far. Sorry, I was just thinking about the terrain and whether that would take you over over water again. I don't know why I thought that, because I'm sure it wouldn't. Maybe you would, I don't know. Because when it's advertised, it's always about it driving over lava, which I understand why. If I'm thinking about it, why didn't I do that in the last bloomin' level? Why didn't I just upgrade the large mobile laser cutter so that it could just drive over the lava? Why didn't I do that? That would have been 50 times more simple. Dare I repeat myself, but why was I born a stupid person? Why was I not born a clever person? I don't know, I've been asking myself that question for nearly a quarter of a century and I still haven't found the right answer. Oh dear. It's not... The thing that makes me feel stupid, right, is not that I can't work out complicated things, right? That's fine, right? I've never been good at working out complicated things, right? I understand that that simply isn't how my brain is wired, and that's fine. I can live with that. It's the fact that the blatantly bloody obvious doesn't occur to me, right? It's that. That's what gets to me. That's what makes me feel stupider than a sack of bricks. So, yeah. I am sorry that you have stumbled across this this video being headed up by a maniac and have somehow sadly avoided all of the videos being headed up by competent people. Let's drill through these last few bits and pieces, find the last energy crystals, collect them up, and then get the hell out of here, so that this video can end and I can stop embarrassing myself. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. You know, there was a time when making a video and being this stupid would have really irritated me and got me down, but I'm a bit past that at this point. I'm not that fussy anymore. It's just... It happened, we've all just got to live with that fact, at least I certainly do anyway. So this will take us, yep, to the last little bits of water, and there are indeed a few more crystals here. That targeting thing would stop dancing around. I reckon this might be the last little bit of wall. There we go. Let's have a little look on the map, see if I've missed anything. I don't think so. Oh, excuse me. I sincerely apologise for the trouble with drinking my milk. I get a bit hiccupy. I haven't missed any energy crystal seams, have I? These are all recharge seams, because I struggle slightly to tell the difference between the shade of yellow and the shade of green on the map. Nope, I think that is about everything. Right. This is going to take for frickin' ever for them to collect all the crystals up. So, in the meantime, I am going to quickly look up something. Right. While they collect up the last few crystals, which I've just realised there's a really large amount of in this level, which is fun for the sense of sort of farming, but a little bit odd that they give you so many crystals in the level when you need none, in terms of mission objectives anyway. No, sorry. Yeah, sorry about that jump cut. I wanted to quickly look up a comment that somebody wrote a little while ago on a Manic Miners video, because they mentioned something, and when I read it, I thought, that sounds interesting. I should talk about that in the next video, and then I completely forgot about. Hello again. A certain chirping pussycat has come to say hello. Hello, chirping pussycat. Would you like to sit on my lap? Well, I would like that as well. However, unfortunately, I'm wearing a very light-coloured suit today, and I don't really need a load of black fur all over it. So would you mind awfully if I put this blanket over my knees instead, despite the fact that it's quite warm in here, and then you can sit on that instead? Is that better? There we go. Not just your front half. If sort of the whole heckin' heap of you could come, that would be that would make things a bit easier. Please don't reverse your arse into the microphone bib. I don't think anybody needs that in their life, or in their ears for that matter. I don't listen to a lot of stuff through headphones, but I imagine if you listen to a cat reverse their arse into a microphone with headphones, then let's just say if that were an ASMR video, it wouldn't be frightfully popular. No. What they said was they were talking about the geological centre in this comment that I read that I wanted to talk about and I completely forgot about. Yeah, they were talking about the geological centre because once you've made the geological centre and you've trained everybody as a geologist, there's not really any reason to have it after that point, because of course the geological centre, particularly when it's upgraded, has a massively larger search radius than the radar of a person or the radar of a vehicle has, but of course it's fixed to a certain location, so once it's sent out one of its maximum blasts of radar. Would you not knock the mouse over, please? Thank you, you mischievous cat. I know you like hunting mice, but that's not the same thing. That's a joke from 30 years ago for you. Yeah, so once it's sent out one blast, you don't really need the building anymore. You could turn it off, beam it up, turn it into a hat stand, whatever the hell you wanted to do with it, you could do with it. And it wouldn't matter by that point. Once you've trained everybody and used it to reveal as much of the map as you can, if that's something that you want to do. Which I can understand being sensible at the beginning of the game, but at the same time, you can only bring down the geological... Bib. That's the microphone. They don't need to hear your chin bumping into it. Yeah, so that's at like the same stage as you're building the support station, and I feel like there aren't a lot of levels where you have the luxury of all those extra crystals and ore in order to Bib, I love you to pieces, you tiny little crazy person, but you're getting in the way. Come on, move your bottom. Move your bottom. And kindly the rest of you as well, please. Thank you. It's better. No, come on. Go sit somewhere else for a bit. Yeah, so I feel like in a lot of levels you don't really have the luxury of bringing that on until later in the game, which point you've probably got people with radars wandering all over the map to the point where you've probably revealed the entire thing by that point. This level's a lot more rectangular than I would have thought it was. There's a random piece of information that nobody cared about. So yeah, I think what they were suggesting is perhaps putting the minimap behind the radar. Putting the radar behind the geological centre. So you only got this once you had geological centre, which I think makes a certain degree of sense. Or maybe if I don't know, it's just a different idea, but maybe if people needed an item, like they needed to pick up a radar scanner or something, like in the same way that people can't fight until they picked up a gun, they could have like a geological centre, and that could have like a radar scanner item in it where people could go and get the radar scanner, which means they could then, you know, take scans and then expand around the area. And maybe that and locking the radar behind having the geological centre might be an interesting way of making it more useful to have that building. Otherwise, I think what happens to a lot of people, and as what's probably happened in this series and you've seen happen, is that you get the geological centre once, you use it, you train everyone, and then you beam it up, and then you never use it again. Which is a little bit sad, because I feel like that building then becomes a little bit unloved. Much the same with what other sort of buildings were a bit like that. To be honest with you, the ore refinery in many places, although I have noticed that a fair few custom levels put objectives in of making stud bricks, so that you actually have to have an ore refinery, which I think is kind of cute. And it's interesting because I suppose you could sort of work that into the story by saying, well, the LMS Explorer needs bricks in order to like repair things for like damage. So I think that's something which makes sense to a certain degree. What was that? What was that I beamed up? Oh, that was the person I beamed up. That was Mr. 11, wasn't it? Yes, and not Danny 11. I just realised his name wasn't Danny 11. His name was Danny Ocean, but that's not the point. That's why it was called Ocean's 11, Phil, and not 11's 11's, because 11's 11 sounds like some kind of bizarre brunch contraption. My giddy aunt. I'm this mentally decrepit at 23. How the hell am I going to be at 50? I don't know, and I dread to think, right, I'm going to perform some highway robbery on my silly hat instead. But yeah. I don't know. I somehow doubt that any major changes to the geological center would come along, because I feel like that would change the structure of the game perhaps too much, and perhaps make some of the levels a bit more difficult in that you'd then need to make... Well, would you need to make the geological center because you don't need the radar? It's useful, but... I don't know. There's a debate to be had there, but I thought it was an interesting comment and a very interesting idea to try and make the geological center a bit more useful and a bit more necessary, and it's not something that I thought of before, so I thought I'd mention it, and yes, thank you to the person who wrote that comment. It was most interesting to read, and yeah, perhaps that's something nice to think about. Anyway, I'm going to think about going to bed now because I'm tuckered, so if you don't mind, I'm going to leave the mission there now that we've collected all the crystals. It's a blooming huge number of crystals here. But never mind any of that. I think we are about done for today. Dear, oh dear,
Wow.
oh dear.
Radar pilot and use the telescope to find out missing rock radar. Excellent. Mission complete.
Well, sort of, but not really, mate. Hooray, we did it. Oh, we didn't unlock the next level even. Interesting. Yeah, so next time, of course, we've got...
Run the gauntlet.
Which is going to be very interesting. Very interesting. Just realised, actually, I could have done Run the Gauntlet because there was something about that I could have talked about, which I've just remembered now, and probably will not remember next month, but never mind. Which will be very interesting, because that's quite a unique and interesting level, at least in its original formation, so it'll be very interesting to see what Baz decides to do with that. And now that there's a lot more control over the individual characters, in terms of, you know, you can now clear rubble and pick stuff up and move stuff around, and get in vehicles and use vehicles a lot more fluidly in the sort of second or rather first or third person controls, it might be interesting to sort of play that level and not use any of the aerial controls and just stay in like third person or first person the whole time. That might make that level a little bit different. I might try doing that perhaps. And then of course that will open up this level, which will be something, and then we're actually not that far away from the end, which is quite a shocking thing to say, because Search and Rescue was so much earlier in the original setup. So we've got Run the Gauntlet. Then what other levels have we not done? Obviously we've got Rocky Horror, Back to Basics, Hot Stuff. There's Lake of Fire. What other levels are there? There are other levels. Goodness knows what they are. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but obviously that will mean other stuff. But if we continue to do two levels of video, Bib, I love you to death, but would you get off my desk? Thank you. And not climb across my computer next time. She's fragile, all right, a bit like me. So obviously that would be a video. That would be a video. That would be a video. That would be a video, and then those two would definitely be videos on their own, except it didn't count a minute. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so maybe like 6, 7 more videos worth of this before we finish Bazmod, which is still quite a lot obviously, but yeah, interesting to at least know roughly where we is in terms of what there is to do. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what Baz does with Run the Gauntlet and finding out what level we have here. Well, that's probably Air Raiders, isn't it, now that I think about it? Or Air Raiders will be somewhere down here. At least I think that's where Air Raiders was, or was Air Raiders? I don't know, how about I shut up and next month we'll find out. Right, I'm going to stop talking now, because I've just been talking dribble for an hour and a half. Right, thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I apologise for embarrassing myself. I'm making a complete muppet of myself, but I don't think I've done anything else on this website over the past 4 years, so thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other, and good night.